Old school is all about meeting in person and, of course, through friends and family. That was the traditional way, whereas nowadays it's a lot more focused on online dating apps and connecting in that way instead.
What are the differences when you are seeing the old school dating versus this, online dating that we tend to see? Do you see differences in terms of traits and personalities face to face rather than social media?
Yes, you do. And when you're meeting people in person, you also get to feel what their energy is, whether they're a smiley sort of person, what the body language is, and whether you've got more connection in the conversation. Whereas on the dating apps, it's usually static messages. You can't really tell what the expression is that goes with it unless someone uses too many emojis, but it's still not the same as connecting in person.
Why do you think old fashioned dating styles are making a comeback?
I think there's a lot of reasons. People are really getting that dating app fatigue, getting sick of fake profiles, people that aren't genuine, and others that maybe are on there already in relationships or married, just having a bit of fun. So they don't want their time wasted anymore. And by meeting someone in person, they're having much less chance of that happening.
We're seeing more people try and switch off now from their screens and from their devices. So could it be linked to that?
Most definitely. People are just sick of looking at screens and not going anywhere, and they want to get out in public and meet people and do things. So it's not even just going to, say, bars to meet someone, it's meeting people through running clubs or fitness activities, or perhaps networking through business groups. And not particularly speed dating, but although that is popular as well. However, people feel that they want to meet someone organically and have it naturally come about, the attraction, rather than out there hunting online and not having any success and wasting hours and even months on doing that sort of thing.
You mentioned speed dating, and across regional Queensland, we are seeing some areas where this is becoming a little bit more popular than, say, it has been in years gone by. So, are there pros and cons to speed dating, even though it is not the traditional way of dating?
I think it's a great environment for people to connect with new people, and you don't have to spend too long. So it's like having lots and lots of little mini dates where you get to meet several people all in the space of just a couple of hours, and you can narrow down potential possible future dates much easily without wasting weeks and months on different dates on a longer time frame that you might actually not be interested in.
What are some of the dating trends, Karina, that you're seeing when we're talking about this comeback of the old-fashioned dating styles? So what are some of those trends that you're seeing and hearing from couples?
Well, a lot of people find that they'll first kind of look for their friends and family to see if they know of anyone that's single and maybe in their realm that they might be interested in meeting. However, if that's not helping, then they're casting their nets a bit further. They're engaging in different social events. They're looking at going to groups that have a hobby that they're interested in, or even just other organised gatherings that can allow people to meet others who share their interests and values. And in these settings, it often does lead to much more natural connections, and you can be your authentic self. So then that increases your chances of finding love in the old-fashioned or old-school way.
Do you think because of that you are seeing some people discuss this idea of data fatigue and exhaustion?
Yes, that's a really popular subject at the moment. There are so many of all ages that are really getting sick of going online and swiping left and right. A lot of times too, people have hardly any information on their profiles. You can't really get an idea of who they are as a person when you're just reading a couple of lines and looking at a few photos that may be out of focus or 10 years old.
When we talk about traditional dating, there are those tropes that we hear about, going out for dinner or, pulling somebody's chair out. Do you think chivalry is dead though, Karina?
I think it's not dead, but a lot of people need some more practice in it because they've forgotten about how to do that and how it makes the other person feel. If someone's pulling your chair out or offering to open the door, it feels like they're valuing you and trying to do something nice for you. So you're actually more interested if they can do that. I think the time of people, or women especially, saying, I can get the door myself is kind of over in the dating area, we want someone to show some level of caring and attention to us that is more than just a physical thing. It's really respecting us and showing that they value you enough to do these little things that make you feel special.
And do we have to give the person who asks you out on a date face to face, I guess, that little bit of extra brownie points because they have done it in person as opposed to on a device?
Absolutely. It can be quite nerve-wracking for people, especially if you're not used to doing it. So anyone that gets those guts up to be able to say, hey, I'd love to go on a date with you. What do you think? If they're doing that in person, then you almost feel bad if you say no, because it does take a lot of courage to step out of that comfort zone, and you're possibly going to be rejected, but you're still giving it a go anyway.
What advice do you have for those singles or anyone looking for love at the moment that are going through that data fatigue right now?
I would say it's a great idea to just step back from all of the dating apps and have a break from it. Focus on going out different places with your friends, or thinking of different places that you can make new connections. For example, I know that a lot of people, maybe they're not athletic, but perhaps they've got a pet. So say going to a dog park and having a chat to other people there could be a new way to make connections. And it's just nice to get away from that screen and out into the real world to start making those new connections.
Could it have something to do with that old-fashioned cliche, Karina? You find love when you're least expecting it or when you're not looking for it?
You're absolutely right, because in fact that happened to my cousin. She was at the dog park and ended up meeting her future husband there with his dog. So, and she certainly wasn't looking, but love was there when she wasn't expecting it.